Hello everybody, this is Carla, and this time I'm here with a review for episode 5 of season 2 of Marvel's Agent Carter. This episode is titled The Atomic Job, and you guys, this episode, I can't even believe how much I love this thing. It was fantastic, and I've been complaining about the show being late, really slow for the past 2 episodes or so, but this is the good one, man. That was such a trip of an episode. I loved it. First of all, it was so 40s. It was almost painful in its perfection. Okay, it felt like a movie from the 40s. I loved every second of it. And I'm kind of used to Agent Carter. I almost don't even think of her as living in the 40s most of the time until something epic happens, feminism wise. But most of the time I just see her as just another, Marvel character. She's around there somewhere. This one, every second made me transported me back to the 40s, even though I've never actually been there. But it felt so genuinely period. Such a period piece. That's what it felt like, and I loved it. Not just, the looks of it. Obviously, it looked very 40s, but just the themes. Atomic bombs? Heck yeah! That was what the 40s were all about, and I don't mean to make it sound like I like the destruction that they were planning or anything, but just the science behind it always makes me excited, and just that search for wanting to discover things. It's something that the 40s had after the war, especially, that you don't really see very often until maybe the space race began or something like that. And it's something that right now we don't have, and it's very sad. So I really appreciate that kind of thirst for pure scientific discovery that the 40s had, and I love it. Just the whole atomic thing. Just the idea that they had to, dismantle plutonium bombs that were kept in wooden crates like they were nothing. It was so much fun. Not just that theme, but just the entire thing just felt so 40s. The jokes were very 40s. Just the whole thing with the souffle and just the type of jokes that they had in this episode were great. So great. Such a period piece. I loved it to bits and pieces. I can't stress that enough. And on top of that, just the characters themselves were fabulous. Come on. Ken Marino as a gangster, crazy, insane gangster. He was born to play this role, okay? That's obviously. I'm a big Veronica Mars fan, so I love Ken Marino from the Veronica Mars days. And he's basically he should play a freaking insane mobster in every role he ever plays, because he's so great at it. I remember in the previous episode that I was so excited to see how the dynamic between Whitney and her husband and Calvin shifted, and this was really good. I really liked it. I love that he's kind of okay, you're freaking scaring me, but we can use this. And then he realizes that no, the entire power balance in this thing has shifted, because now Whitney knows that she's the one who has the power, and she's the one who can scare him into complying to do anything. And you can see it slowly happen, because she tries manipulating him at first a lot. You're gonna be a senator, and everybody will do what you say, and blah blah blah, and everybody will respect you. Eventually, she's like, nope, you just do what I want you to do. That's it. And he's friggin' pissing his pants because she's friggin' scary, right? But then he realizes that he can't just let her run unchecked, because, again, yes, he's scared, but at the same time, he is a man in the 40s, and he will not let a woman rule him over like that, so he will figure something out, and that's when he calls the council in. But I think it was a very interesting take on how power shifts between a man and a woman when something like this happens. Not that this can actually happen in real life, but something like that, So I really look forward to seeing what he does now that he's called the council about Whitney. She's unhinged. I mean, she's so seduced by the power. I don't think she's even begun to even realize that this might be destroying her inside. Like, for a scientist, she's not very smart in that sense. It's like, okay, you're so driven by wanting power that you forgot that you have some kind of, ridiculously destructive foreign substance inside your body that's more likely than not eating you inside out. And it's I wonder when it's going to hit her. Probably at the last minute, because again, hello 40s themes. But it's interesting just to see how unhinged it's made her. She wants dark matter because she wants power, because she doesn't want to be pushed down anymore by anybody, especially men, I'm guessing. She doesn't want to be pushed back. She wants to be on top of things. She wants to be the powerful voice in the room, and that just makes her want dark matter. Zero matter, sorry. And it's interesting because if she gets it, what's she going to do with it? Like, is she going to just destroy the universe? I don't know. I think it's definitely the zero matter corrupting her brain and using her own desires against her. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to her if she dies. I'm gonna guess she's going to die eventually. But if she realizes this before she dies, that the zero matter is actually warping her feelings about things, then I'm really, really glad that we got to actually see all the other characters do amazing things. I mean, Rose, I freaking love Rose. Okay, she is fantastic. And it's like Peggy said, she's had all the training all the other dudes have had up there. She's just never been in the field, so let's give her a chance to bring her in the field. Now, I do think that Peggy was a little bit cavalier about the whole thing. It's like, maybe saving the world from an atomic bomb is not the ideal first mission for anybody, regardless of how trained they are, be it a man or a woman or whatever. I wouldn't have been so cavalier about it, but I love Rose, so I welcome every opportunity we get to see her, and I think she was fabulous. I think she was so damn convincing about everything. I mean, not only did she kick butt, but she actually also helped scientist dude build up his confidence, and she was just really great. She was fantastic. They should use her more. They should make her an agent. That's all I would say. She shouldn't be a secretary or like a fake secretary or whatever she is. She should be an agent. She's fabulous. And then there was scientist dude whose name I can't remember. I loved how they went with the pie thing. He's like, here, have some pie. Also, we need your instruments. It was so funny, and just like, I knew there was something. You can't buy me with pie. But he was so funny and so cute too. I mean, as a nerd myself, I can understand that sometimes people kind of overlook the smart ones because they're not like cool badass agents like Peggy or Sousa or whatever. But it was kind of it was just all around adorable that they had to like bring him in. It's just like, okay, fine, you can come. And I love how he called Sousa. I was like, you told me I was going to be in the field, blah blah blah. It's just like, damn it, no, I have to let him go with us. So that was, I mean, I love this whole ragtag team of people. It's like the 5 randomest dudes that, while Whitney Frost is actually looking for, brood muscle to go and steal the plutonium, the SSR just gets this ragtag bunch of people who you would never have seen together in a team, and it actually works. I can't even say how much I love that. It was so funny. I laughed my butt off, and I loved each and every one of them. Speaking of loving each and every one of them, I'm so happy that Jarvis finally did something great. He is so fantastic, and he didn't, I mean, that's the thing, he didn't have to lose the humor, he didn't have to lose the shtick to actually be helpful, because, he is pulling plutonium cores from atomic bombs and talking about souffles. It was perfect. It was fantastic. I laughed my butt off, and at the same time I wanted to stretch my arms into the screen and give him a hug, because that's the Jarvis I know and love and wanted to see. He is, when push comes to shove, he will do anything to help, even disarm an atomic bomb, and he was fantastic. Not only did he get there by mistake, he was actually also helping, with the whole security of the complex thing. So he was going to be useful from the beginning, but I'm really glad that he was the one who had to disarm the bomb, because heck yeah, Jarvis can do it. He's awesome. So I'm just really happy with how they treated Jarvis in this episode. He's still funny, but he's also really resourceful and really capable of things. So that was interesting. And then there's, of course, the part that freaking breaks my heart. I mean, you think Peggy felt hurt when she was stabbed, by that rod? That was me in my heart through this entire freaking episode, thanks to Sousa and Violet and Peggy, and I was dying every second. I mean, first of all, when he proposed to Violet, can I just say, well, first let me say how much I love Violet, because I adore that woman. Sarah Bolger is my platonic female lesbian love, if I could. If I ever had to be a lesbian, it would be for her. And I love her as an actress, and I love her in this role. Violet is so great. She is so sincere. She is so earnest. She is so open. I love her. Okay, I adore Violet. And when Susie proposed to her, that was hands down one of the most adorably perfect proposals I have ever seen in my entire life in TV. Well, movies too, but it was just incredible. I mean, it was all kinds of awkward and just, funny and sweet, but really genuine at the same time. He's like, yeah, damn it, I can't find the ring now, I can't propose to you. And she's like, oh, we can find it. And he's like, so is that a yes? She's like, oh yeah, it's a yes. I was dying, okay? They are so cute and so adorable, and I'm so happy for them. And then the rod. I'm like, oh, as soon as I heard, obviously I knew that Peggy wasn't going to die, because that's what happens in these shows, you get stabbed through by a rod and it completely misses all of your vital organs, because this is TV, that's what happens. But as soon as she got run through with that, she fell into that rod, I was like, damn, this is going to bring out the caring side of Susan. You could see that it was coming. As soon as you heard him scream, Peggy, Peggy, I was like, oh, he just proposed to Violet, really? Oh. And then, of course, then they go back. I didn't think that they would actually take her to Violet, but then when they did, it made total sense to me, because why would Peggy want to go to a hospital and try to explain all of this crazy shenanigans? So they take her to Violet, and Violet, obviously being the amazing person that she is, helps her, heals her, and then she realizes that, heck yes, Susa is still pining for Peggy, and it's just like I got stabbed through the gut as well. Okay, I'm literally dying here. Okay, my brain is so confused. My heart is so confused because I ship Susan and Peggy so hard, but at the same time, Susan and Violet are so adorable. I'm almost wishing we get more scenes with Violet and Peggy so I can ship them too. Because seriously, I get more and more conflicted about this with every episode, and I kind of love it. So I clearly I'm a masochist, but I suffered through that whole scene, man. When she was like, "Why didn't you tell me that you're in love with her? You're running away from her." I was squirming in my seat. I was so, oh my god, it just, what these three do to my feelings, I can't even tell you. And then in the end, of course, Jason disappears, which is like, okay, the other corner of my love polygon is now missing. It's interesting. I don't know what's happening to him, but I guess they'll explain that. It wasn't that big of a cliffhanger to me. I mean, the real end of the episode for me was just the Sousa Violet thing. That was what really left me hanging. Now I want to see what happens. But just this whole entire episode was so great, man. So much fun. The whole sequence. I mean, when they explained the memory thing, and how it worked, I was like, oh, this is going to be really corny. It felt a little like Looney Tune-ish in a way when they explained it, but then when Peggy was actually doing it and like she kept erasing his memory and he was like, Agent! I laughed my butt off because I didn't remember that the guy had been actually in the first season, but now I totally do, and it makes total sense. And I laughed my butt off every time he went, Agent! And then she just kept sapping him, and I laughed so hard, tears were streaming down my face. It was so perfect. And it's another example of what I say about that 40s feel. It's very, very squeaky clean humor, but it works. It works because of the 40s setting, and it's what you'd see in 40s movie, and it just makes it all like come up even more for me. And I loved this episode from beginning to end. I just love the entire thing. And I guess now I want to know what they're going to do with the dark matter. Clearly they're not going to let an A-bomb explode. Dark matter. Why do I keep saying dark matter? This isn't actual science. This is science fiction, so zero matter. Sorry about that. But I love this whole thing. It was such a nice episode, such a trip to watch. It kept me engaged. It stomped on my feelings at the same time, but in a way that I really love. And I can't wait to see where this goes. Honestly, it's now that the council is involved and Calvin is going to tell them about Whitney. I wonder what she's going to do if she realizes that that's going to happen. I love that scare, by the way, when he goes in and starts trying to call the council, and then all of a sudden she's behind him and he's like, what? I just love it. I want to see where this goes. I don't know what's going to happen with Violet and Sousa. Like, is she... I highly doubt that she's going to take it against Peggy, because she is a reasonable person and an awesome person, and I'm sure she likes Peggy regardless of how Sousa feels about her. Hopefully. Please do this right, writers. Don't ruin everything just with petty jealousy or whatever. But I would like to see how her relationship with Sousa Violet, works after this revelation. They need to have a conversation about this, obviously. Sousa has to own up to it, because come on, Sousa. I also found myself missing Mrs. Jarvis. We haven't seen her in a while. I kind of wanted her to do more. I hope she comes back for the last few episodes of the season, because she's awesome. And I feel like Jarvis could use a little bit of a crutch in a way. I want her to be around because she's fantastic. And of course how the club is going to react to this dark matter thing. How it's going to involve Thompson in New York. there was so much good in this episode. That's all I'm gonna say because I've already been gushing about it for 20 minutes. But this was so great. Loved the 40s feel of it. Loved the humor in it. Loved the characters. Every single one of them were great. The way the plot has been going has been great as far as we go here. And just, it was a fantastic episode. Probably my favorite of the season so far, for sure. So now that we're finally starting to wind down on the last few episodes of the season, I can't wait to see things start to ramp up again. You know, it's like, we're coming to an ending, so the pace has to go up. And I think this episode was a very good indicator of that. We'll see how it goes in the next one. So that's about it from me for this episode. As usual, remember to visit our website at thegeekypub.com. We don't only have reviews for the previous Agent Carter episodes, but also for other TV shows, books, movies, games. We have a ton of stuff in there, so be sure to visit and check it out. And as usual, if you guys want to be notified as soon as possible whenever we upload a new review, then you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's most of the time that's where the reviews go up first. Even before they hit the website, they're on YouTube. So if you subscribe, you will be notified straight away whenever anything new goes up. And that's it for this review. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.